think this thing is live. I know this song is going to get me copyright claimed. And I'm going to have to fight it. But I love it.
What? Timberwolf? No man, that's clan tag, that's just cheating. I don't want to lose my friends, man.
I'm almost there, yeah. In fact, I think I am there. Hello. Oh man. All right. Please let me know if you guys can hear the gracious homeless guy out the window with his very loud rap music. I'm worried about copyright here, but I think even if it comes through, our music will drown it out. I don't think it's coming through. I contemplated asking him to move, but I'm not going to interrupt him. He's got his dog and he's got his like food and stuff. So I'm not going to interrupt his lunch. But he also has a very large speaker on his cart. And he's right under my window. I think it's okay though. I'm not seeing any spikes on the mic. I think OBS is just really good about the noise gate. Can't hear it, I don't think. Okay. Yes. Sick. This is the motorcycle noise all over again. I've also noticed that something about the acoustics of my building just really like the bass just really travels through it. Let's put these away real quick. Make sure to punch the camera in the meantime.
We're talking about the thugs. T is for terrible.
It's
H
really
is for
bad
hell.
music,
U
though.
is for ugly.
It's
and
like,
G is for jail. Cause a thug king spell.
I'm not super familiar with rap, but I've heard a lot of it living out in the Bay Area now. And it sounds like very heavily auto-tuned local stuff. Maybe he's got a friend who wants to try to get into that game. is not good. It is not good. I give it about a 3 out of 10. It's a lot of auto-tune. Just need an extra long paper tube to shoot fart at him. You get him to move. I don't know if he'd care, honestly. As some of y'all know, I posted a picture of the trash can out my window where the local trash goblins had gone through it. Do not think smells affect these fucks. Not in the least. Anyhow, that concludes the segment of the show called Old Man Yells at Clouds. And get the fuck off my lawn. And now we're gonna jump into an ad break. Thank you, ads. Hey, the ads do kick things down. Lucky Sinus Siffle from the ashes I rise again. I hope you're doing well, my friend. No, long time no see. Yes, I have been. Well, let's go ahead and address that. So, basically, through a combination of a deep depression cycle, and then I caught COVID. I caught the new California strain of COVID, and it was pretty miserable. And it was bad, but I also used that as an excuse to sit around like a dang old lump and not get anything done. But here we are, back from the ashes. Country Fried Minis coming back. We're gonna get back into things. We got the eBay store up and running. We got paint coming out of the corner. We got some content scheduled to come out. I'm aiming to get a video out for y'all Saturday, maybe. I think we'll do an editing stream Friday night and finalize the voiceover for the Crescent Hawks video for all the old Battletech fans out in the crowd. We'll get those out. Then we got something else planned this month, so hoping to get 2 videos out for you this month, and then we'll dive into more stuff. Look, this failed again. I just cannot get a clean print of this model. Like, no matter what I do, I cannot get a clean print of this model. Anyhow, if you guys don't know, Country Fried Minis is a space where you can come in and see all kinds of silly shenanigans, painted models, and penis strokes, all in one place. I am your host, Cameron, the country boy in the big city, presenting to you once more from the Bullshit Corner 2.0. And today we're going to dig into some, I start to say painting, but I don't know if we'll actually get into any painting today. We'll talk about this project, and we will clean up, and we will assemble models, and we will hang out and offer a space for you guys to come in and talk about what you have going on and interact here in chat. This is the Wednesday show. We are here every Wednesday, noon p.m. Pacific time, and we're going to get some work done. And then afterwards, we have the Dicks in the Dark stream tonight. Will not be on there this evening. It is not Mega Dungeon, but it is up and away. So make sure to check out the Dicks in the Dark if you like Dungeons and Dragons in space. I don't think I've caught a stream since your stream every day for a month. Yeah, that was a really intense experience, and I think I'd like to get back to some kind of similar flow, not every day, but maybe like 3 days a week. I think the streams are a great way to like keep some content coming out, because I found it really hard to get a video out. It's been 4 months now, so we'll get some stuff out. Triple gear, whoa. I gotta admit, the slots payout seems so small in comparison to the gamble stuff. Yeah, COVID was in fact no fun. It wasn't super bad though. The worst, I was pretty sick for a while, and it took a while to get over it, but I ended up with phantom smells, which I'm still suffering from now. I got this smell that keeps hitting my nose. It smells like it's like somewhere between burning toast and like an electrical induction heat smell, like a straightening iron. I'm checking the mic feed now. The guy's music just went up like 20% in volume. I think OBS is still gonna block it though. I'm not seeing any input. Excellent. That's kind of scary to say strokes cause those scents. It's, from what I could see, it's bleeding in your olfactory bulb. So yeah, that definitely checks out with some of the shitty feeling I had. My sister ended up with phantom smells for like 6 months afterwards. So that was really intense, and I think I'm going to be in the same boat till my brain rewires around that. So yeah, the new strain of COVID in California gave me brain damage. Just a reminder to, even though we're no longer in a pandemic state, just, take care of your health out there. Wash your hands. Consider a mask if you have to ride public transit. Etc. In any case, let's get started today. All right, so let's get a little refresher on our Fiverr project. I do commissions over at Fiverr, fiverr.com/Studios. If you want your own commissioned set, come through and check out what I have on offer, and if you need something custom tailored to you, Fiverr is the best place. However, if you want to get your hands on just some mechs, check out my eBay store. I believe linked in the description down below. Wash your hands, especially your stream hand. Yes, stream hands, given the theme of this stream, I think we can make an exception and say this stream and this stream only. Your stream hand can be below the table. What you do with that is your business and your responsibility. Lucky Cyan Official says, I've had COVID 3 times, and the first time I did cough up blood, but I've been very lucky to have no lasting conditions. So unpredictable. Yeah, I keep telling this anecdote in the community. The first time I caught it, I was so thoroughly convinced I was going to die that I wrote up a document of what do you call it, advanced directive, and like hung it on the inside of my door. Yeah, it's definitely the sickest I've ever been. This one wasn't as bad. It was just like a solid week of like feel like really shitty. Yeah, just whether you're talking common colds, the risk of catching fungal pink eye or COVID or the flu, whatever. Just take care of your health. Make sure to wash your hands. Maybe next time you're out at Walgreens, pick up an extra container of antibacterial hand soap. In any case, let's get a refresher here. We're working on two. They're kind of level 2 size, so they're not just a reinforced lance, but 6 mechs each. And what we're looking at is the Northwind Highlanders box. We've got this here, Northwind Highlanders Command Lance, plus the premium Black Knight, which we cleaned up last time we worked on this project. I think we can work on assembly of that today. And then a War Dog. And we have printed out, this is Sir Mortimer Bombito's War Dog. I actually really don't like, I wish these holes were a little deeper. So I think we might work on digging those out with our rotary tool, which is It's all the way over there. We'll get to that at some point. So those 6 mechs, boom, in Northwind Highlander scheme. And the other set is going to be meant to resemble World War II Allied bombers or fighters with kill markers, names, or pinup art. They're to be painted in the same color scheme as the Ares Super Heavy. And it's going to be the Ola brother. Welcome, Random Combos with Kathy. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Should give you a call soon. Catch up. In fact, I will sometime soon in the next couple days. Hope things are well. Do you have a display shelf for your minis, or do you store them? So I have a lot in storage. I recently bought a plastic. You probably can't see it. This just looks like a bunch of clutter because it is just a bunch of clutter. But way over in that corner over there, right by my TV, is this plastic display shelf type deal. And I've got, who's in there? My Orloff Deers, my 15th Arcturian Guard, the Country Fried Mercs, the Orange Boys, and who's that on the bottom? That is the Crater Cobras. I also temporarily store painted miniatures for the eBay store. And speaking of painted miniatures in the eBay store, I just finished a big set of Proserpina Hussars. And if any of y'all out there catch this stream while it's still live, whether you're here live or you are catching it by the algorithm, I've got a double lance with 10 vehicles fully painted up on the Country Fried Mini store. It is listed for $350 USD, but if you send me an offer for as little as $200, I will dispatch it to you. Yep, sounds good. Excellent, excellent. Thank you for popping in and saying howdy, Cassie. Yeah, the display shelf is good because I keep individual models that are listed on eBay in there, so they remain dust free. Where were we? Okay, so these guys are going to be all drab with like kill markers and pinup art, little freehand details, whatever we can fit on them. And it's going to be the Black Remnant Command Lance, I think this is a Griffin 2C, or something. I can't remember the name of it. It's a Shadowhawk 2C maybe? That might be what it is, Shadowhawk 2C. It looks a little, needs a little love. And then we get the bull shark here. And this bull shark mostly printed out okay. We've got a little bit of warpage. We lost a little detail here, and this is a little bent. So I think we can work around that. This is just the best print I could get. We printed out another option here, and I tried in a different orientation with different supports. And this time we have a failure on the toe. I just cannot get a clean print anymore with these big models using Chitu supports. So I think I'm gonna have to go in and like manually place every single support on the model. Just, I cannot find a good algorithm to do auto supports anymore. Lately I'll run Chitu and then I'll go back in and add some medium weight supports. Like you can see the scars here, here, and there. And then there, and there. And I think there was another medium support up underneath. Yep, I see a big scar right here. It's a shame. If any of y'all out there know, please drop in the comments down below what your favorite auto support algorithm is, and I will give it a go. Okay, so we have a request for rocky ground terrain, rocky ground basing, and I'm not going to worry about basing today. Today what we're going to do, we're going to try to get these models cleaned up. We're going to separate all these Catalyst models in their bases. We're going to film a little bit of it, and we're just going to kick back and we're going to clean up models, and we're going to hang out So if you're out there working or going through your day or hobbying, whatever you got going on, I hope this space will serve as a opportunity for some gentle conversation and some soothing Avalo music in the background. So I'm actually like kind of waffling for like pretzeling for decision here. So let's start out with let's revisit our Black Knight from last time and see if we can't get it nice and clean, and then we will assemble it. What we'll start with is, let's zoom this camera in a little bit. We're gonna buckle up for a few hours, see if we can't get these guys ready for paint, and then soon we'll do a proper paint stream of these guys, and I will prime them off stream so you guys don't have to sit through that. But we might come in for a little bit of airbrush work on them anyways. But I think this Black Knight is basically ready. We did a bunch of mold line cleanup. If you guys recall, was that 2 weeks ago? Was it 3 weeks ago even? I can't remember how long ago it was, but we did a little paint stream and tried to get this thing going and had problems with Comcast. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So we're almost done with this step. Yeah, I see some more mold line stuff here. We got some nice sharp brand new blades this time. These are, what's that standard size, number 11s? Yeah, number 11 blades. I got a big old pack of them off of Amazon for like $4. They seem fine to me. But let's get this boy assembled. I think we want a base for alignment purposes, and I have an extra catalyst base here, so we'll use this for alignment. And I think what we'll do in the end here is we're gonna liberate all these models from their catalyst bases, and we'll hit the client up and see whether they want pre-textured bases or if they prefer to like kind of match the catalyst basing. And if so, we'll use the bases I sculpted. Do I have any handy? I don't see any. I just gave mine away to a friend. I don't have any handy. But I do have some bases that are sculpted to match the bevel angle of Catalyst Minis. They're available on Cults 3D. Okay, so I think this looks good. There's still a few little spots of mold line, so we're gonna get in here and we're gonna clean that up. In fact, you know what, y'all? Let's just zoom this right on in. Let's just zoom right on in. Wait, what's going on here? Can y'all see that? My screen says preview is currently disabled. Okay, there we go. I got it back. I was just trying to zoom way in on this. Is it as far in as it goes? I think it is. Okay. Alright, so you probably can't see it too great because of the fidelity of the webcam here, but we've got like the mold lines kind of run across the joints a little bit. We're just going to take the tip of our somewhat fresh X-Acto and we're going to get in there and we're just going to rub them down. Anywhere we can backstroke it is where what we really want to do. but if we have to do a forward stroke, you just remember to stay really gentle and keep it on the surface. Think delicately, right? Like, if you mar it too much, that's going to show up just as bad as the mold line, and you would have been better off just leaving the mold line. A little bit of give and take here, but ideally, we want to completely remove any mold lines. This model has a bit of a slip too. You can see the bottom of the foot is a little misaligned. And I think we might could get away with leaving it. I really want to shave it smooth though. So we're going to switch over to our Army Painter flat file. The flat one out of this set is really aggressive, so we want to be nice and gentle, but we just want to smooth that out as much as we can. We don't want to bite too far into it, but we want to get it kind of leveled out. And I should have a piece of finishing sandpaper around here. However, this is the bottom of the foot, so I don't think we need to worry about finishing it. Let's do this and that. Just going to get this nice and flat and smooth, and that way we're ready to get it adhered to the base very firmly once we get there. Swap this back. Alright. We should probably start a finished parts pile here off to the side. Let's go back in and re-regard this arm. If y'all remember, we had to smooth it down because these premium models have this sphere attached to the end of the arm right here. Unnecessary bit, and I think it's a leftover from the STL that got sent over to the caster. That is probably an internal connection that only makes sense on the virtual model. But what we're going to do is we're going to look for imperfections. We have a little bit of an imperfection right here. I don't know if y'all can see it, but this panel, which should come straight down, comes down and then has a kinked edge. But on closer inspection, that detail is present here as well. So that is not something to remove, and I almost fucked up. It looks like we did a really good job buffing that down. The mold line here is gone. That looks okay. We're going to put it in the complete pile. Let's check the next one. I see a little bit of resin hanging off, so we'll get rid of that. Our mold line is almost perfect here. It does run down in this knee joint, so we're going to get in there and really, really gently give it some love. I almost need a chisel tip for this and just about see what I'm doing. I really don't know how to approach this and actually get it out of there. Maybe the tip of our conical file. We're gonna buff that surface there. I think that did it. This is a really soft material, so an aggressive file is gonna do a lot of work. And we'll take a nylon brush to get rid of the fuzzies. I've been recommended to use a brass brush to remove mold lines, but I think that's going to be a little too aggressive on the resin here. All right, let's see if we can't remove those little tidbits. There we go. That looks way better. Okay, so that mold line continues up and over the knee. And we're just gonna see if we can backstroke it. Yeah, There's a little bit more in the divot there. I don't think we're going to be able to get that out though, and I think it is minimal enough that it should kind of disappear with the whatever dark color we use in the crevices. I think a wash is going to pool here and get rid of it anyways, so we're not going to stress on it. We are going to run down and cut these little O-ring details out. Let's see if we can't. Trying to keep that in frame for y'all. And honestly, I usually don't go this far, but I really want this set to kind of shine. Maybe use it as some video content. Definitely an opportunity to talk about commercial painting and the viability of that as a business decision. I think that might be the subject of the video. Don't know when it'd be coming out, but we'll get to it at some point. Tobias von Stellion says, come. No, no. In fact, let's see. Let's see. She probably wouldn't say it if I wrote it like you did, but I bet. I bet this will work. Come on, please. Please, phone. Please, phone. Where's she at? Where's she at? It's in here somewhere. Yes, let's try this last one here. No. Jeez. That one. Hit that button. I bet it's gonna demand my password again. I'm gonna press the one tap buy button and then have to type in my password. Ridiculous. It should go through, hopefully. Do not notify me. I swear this little phone here forgets that I have plugged in settings.
Country Fried Minis donated a $2 super chat. Honeybee come blowfish.
Yes. Just want to double check. That man's music ain't coming through. Okay. No mic spikes. But I do see this. Let's do that.
Flame Lord subscribe to the channel.
Thank you very much for the subscription, Flame Lord. Number go up. Number go up. Make me feel good. Dude, I can't think with this music, man. I may take a break to ask him to go out there and ask him like a polite human being to, hey, can you please take your music to the next block or turn it down or something? What could go wrong, surely? Maybe we'll get lucky and he'll move on. Let's see. Got any other spots? So we have a mold line that's running right across. It's down in this little hole here. So I think we're gonna try to get in there with the tip of the knife and dig it out. Real controversial choice to run it there. I think it goes to show that none of these companies are particularly great at perfecting their mold line applications. We'll get this one good enough because again, I think the our wash will probably sit in there and obscure it. I don't know what would be better, to have the mold line there in a little hole that you can't actually get in, dig it out, or across the knuckles. I almost feel like it's better to run it across knuckles. That's easier to clean, I mean. Okay, now just down the back of the foot. Put it down. And then we'll do the same here. Cut that one out. And clean the back of that. And I think we can put this part into the done pile. The acceptable pile. Let's rub it with our nylon brush. I may have a stiffer nylon brush actually. That might be what we want. I have a really stiff nylon brush. Let's give that one a go. Yeah, I think this is the one. Really get in there and remove any little biddly bobs. Uh-oh. Chat has died for me. Let's relaunch. Relaunch. All messages. Hey, I see a Black Knight leg. Yeah, we're working on, part of this commission is the premium Black Knight, which honestly I expected worse from all the reviews I've heard about the premium minis. The one complaint the big one, was these extra bulbs on the end of the arms. They really don't fit perfectly. They appear to me to be like a leftover from the STL. It makes the arm stick out kind of unnaturally. When there's like a spherical attachment point already that should go in that socket. So I don't know why they needed to add an extra bulb. I think this sphere probably was inside the model while it was a 3D miniature. But it works. Chat's not dead, it feels fine, it feels happy. Ah, yes, yes. I feel happy. I know that reference. Another Nate says, I type words into text input box. Thank you for the chat interaction. YouTube does this fun thing now where it ranks y'all based on your participation. They're almost there. It's almost the interaction level from Twitch. I really wish they'd get on a full integration to like channel points or like fun things for audience to do. I personally love the little chat interaction options from Twitch. That's why I integrated the cloud bot Unicorn Company Podcast says, oh yes, I have a special hatred for the premium minis. It's part of the plan to have the models have universal limbs so people could make their own custom minis from the premiums. Yeah, well, you know, it's really funny that that is a thing because the options are actually kind of lacking really big time. Let's see, we got two poses for the sword arm, which is good. That's fine. But we only got one pose for the PPC arm. You can either take the PPC arm or the no weapon arm with an open hand. And then you can take either, for the other arm, you can either have two poses for the non-PPC arm, and then and the other arm is just it's a carbon copy of this other one, and they all have the same hand, they all have the same pose. So what are you supposed to do with that? Where's the actual customization, you know? Not cool. I would rather 3D print a model. Honestly, and I've mentioned it before, what I would like in a perfect world from Catalyst is sponsored STLs. Even like very high price. Maybe like sell the STLs on the Catalyst website. I'd pay $50 for a Catalyst officially branded STL file, and then that's something they could put money into, like aggressively pursuing copies of those models while leaving competitors untouched. Oh, I was just gonna read and respond to chat, but I've been fed an ad. Let me skip that. Is my understanding the law is because there's a disconnect between CGL and the non-Iron Wind metals minis that are being produced as premiums? Yeah. I could see that maybe they sent them off hastily or made agreements based on production goals that probably couldn't be met. I suspect Catalyst has been a little lax in quality assurance or quality control. For instance, I suspect fully that the shift in scale for Catalyst from 1/285th to 1/265th, which is not a scale that anyone uses, I fully suspect that is because the models, the test models from Leah came back 10% too large, and they said, okay, that it would maybe be too expensive to retool and do a new run. Another Nate is claiming pop cans. I'll do that as well. It's my favorite redeem, and there's no cooldown on it. Okay, where were we? We had cleared both legs, torso, and arm in the ready-to-go pile, and we're working on a sword. We're going to get all these models cleaned up today. I don't think we can actually prime, unfortunately. I'd like to say we'd get into painting, but I don't think that's going to happen because I need bases. And I'm going to print out a run of...
I do. Give me 10.
Okay.
Who's responsible for this? I'll tell you what to cool down for. Yes. All right, Mr. Nate.
Bye, everyone.
Pin coming up for you.
She's gone forever.
I think I got a spot set up for it. I moved the boxes around. Here we go. Salute the sun. What? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. The boxes in the floor have caused me to do a hands close together push-up today. I got a whole bunch of shit to process. Let's see, what's over there? I got a box of terrain, the Heroes of Might and Magic 3 box, the Apex Legends Kickstarter box, my miniature case. What is that box? That is my old Photon, what is it? Anycubic Photon S in box. So I guess a way to say this without betraying any sources is CGL is sort of hands off in the production, and the QC of the minis coming from the premium minions producer. Yeah, they're not great. Actually, my biggest complaint about the Black Knight is the quality of this resin. This resin is a very grainy material, and I think it's unacceptable. This, in my opinion, should have never passed QC. The big laser on the front is smushed. It's oval instead of round. Should never pass QC. Do you want an example of this? Is the premium Phoenix Hawk Mini. Do you think that model would be worth getting my hands on and doing a little piece of content talking about? Maybe talking a little tongue-in-cheek talking about how bad it is, and then like giving it some love and making it look good. If it's an older Black Knight, it's made by Creative Juggernaut. I suspect that's a good question. I start to say that I suspect it is. I ordered it from the Catalyst website for this project. Now, it's obvious they don't pay enough to have any control over their own licensed products. Yeah, and I mean, I'm quick to be just like full-on bashing Catalyst. There have been some bad decisions, of course, though I have a lot of respect for them now. With the statement, the way their statement was conducted when they got out in front of the tariff charges. Not that they were bitching about ridiculous financial decisions of government entities, but more so that they were like, hey, this is how it hurts us, and this is why we have to in turn hurt you as the consumer. I think that's really important, and it's a level of transparency you don't see with a lot of companies. I'm reminded of the way Corvus Belli issued a statement about switching to COCast from metal on their models, telling their consumer base how they were going to have to switch to COCast, or that they had made the decision, is more accurate, that they had made the decision to switch to COCast in some of their production to keep the costs the same for the consumer. And they switched to COCast, the quality went down, and they also raised the prices. Ironwood Metals makes that same mini much higher quality. Yeah, I really want more Ironwind Metals minis of the Catalyst models, so I'll have to check that out. I love a good Ironwind Metals mini. They know what they're doing. They've been a really good shepper for those old Ralpartha models. And I hope that Catalyst takes care of them as they go forward. I suspect we'll see an uptick in new models in the metal form But I definitely also think that I suspect Ironwind metals will slowly start phasing out as much of the old catalog as they can. I would not be surprised if we start seeing a shift of old Ralpartha sculpts that are still in production now have a spike in volume, or have a spike in value over the next few years, just like with the unseen models. Maybe not as much, but something similar. Though, as a consumer and connoisseur of third-party 3D printed IP infringement, does it affect me all that much? When Creative Juggernaut Blaine's Mini production stopped production suddenly, CGL and Ironwind Metal had to make the two from Creative Juggernaut to fill the production gap. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I definitely would rather it in metal. All the time. I'm all about metal minis. Okay, speaking of minis, let's get this mini assembled into a mini and get him on a base. Or get him ready to go onto a base. So, I think we had landed on this, like, kind of lumbering pose here. Let's get out a new guest palette today. Who do we have? Raise his hand. I know what the criteria is to retire metal minis from Ironwind. Oh, I'm curious now. I'm curious. Is this a share with the class, or is this a tease everybody moment? Because I like both. I do love a good teasing. And speaking of teasing, today's guest today's guest palette is gonna be a naughty nurse. How y'all like that one? She's about to give you a hot injection. Alright, let's get some glue out of my clogged tube. Awesome. Alright, this is the second time I've tried to use this extra thin. And it's already not usable. I'm looking for my needles now. I got some needles around here somewhere. I could maybe unclog it with this brass wire. Let's try this brass wire. I think I'm sick, nerds. Oh yeah, there's a clog in there for sure. Oop, there it goes. Now there's a chunk of cured super glue floating around inside that bottle, which may be bad. That might kill this bottle over time. Alright, let's get a nice little amount of glue out. Alright. And we'll use a toothpick. And I think we maybe need to pin this, potentially. We maybe need to pin this, actually. I'm torn. Also, I should be filming this. Yeah, let's get that glue. Well, shit, fire. There we go. Let's get that glue off the nurse, because I need to film this. All right. In that case, I'm going to hop up. I'm going to grab some coffee and my tripod. We're going to pull this camera out a little bit so I have some room to work around the camera. Ironwind Metals keeps a mini in production based on sales. Once it ends up going below a certain amount, it's moved to archived. Those minis are still available, essentially becoming cast on demand mini. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's their whole like what is it? Online only, online exclusive minis or whatever. I just would not be surprised if under Catalyst leadership they slowly phase those out even and move those to a no longer exists category. I can't imagine them keeping all of them. Okay, let me get the tripod and my Dremel and fill my coffee cup, and we're gonna get back to it. I need to assemble this and I need to film it. So let's get to it. BRB. Shouldn't be too long. Just a minute or so. I'll be right back. Got my thingamabob, and I can come back. Let's go back to Paint Stream. Don't spill your bean juice. Also podcast. Yes. Okay, so I guess I could show you guys this thing. So I have, if you're interested in filming your own paintings, I have this thing, this clamp. And you can clamp it this way for vertical recording or this way for horizontal, and it's got a screw on the bottom that engages with the standard camera mount screw. So this thing engages. Let's get that clamp down, and then my tripod, you know, has the quick attach thingamabob on the top, and you engage this thing, and your tripod can then hold your phone nicely. Big recommend, especially if you're gonna do like even if you're doing like unboxing and filming and stuff. This Endurax is the brand. This tripod cost me $30 on Amazon. And you know, it might have actually come with the adapter. 1/4 thread is the standard you were thinking. Ah, yes. Weird fun fact, the original Flea is the old Mini still available for Ironwind Metals. As of right now, the death knell for Mini is a master being lost or destroyed and the mold wearing out. Yes. Luckily, they are available, and honestly, I think it might be worth not advocating selling. Let me be very clear before I make this statement on my channel. I'm not advocating selling recasts, but I think it behooves the community to preserve some of these things, and to make a secondary market, new mold of some of these things. And in fact, I may very well recast, or make a mold of, I should say, this here MAD3R unseen model. We'll see. I got to do a test cast of some other things first. I have cast a few parts before, for my own use, always for personal use. Reminder to folks that resale of cast models is illegal, and I would not dare say that I endorse it publicly. In fact, I would have to say that I decry the practice. One of the cool things about newer minis is because the masters are 3D printed, you can make a new master if it's ever destroyed. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, I think they've done a really good job of producing masters. I have seen a few models here and there that have print lines on the masters. Some of the Infinity models, as of late, have prints on mold lines or print lines on their masters. Okay, so next shot here, we're gonna put out our Black Knight and our base here for attaching. I'm gonna show all these parts to the camera, and we're gonna push out our Naughty Nurse, and we're probably gonna I'm doing this out of sequence. It just hit me. I'm doing this out of sequence because we need to pin this. So instead, let's refilm that shot in a moment. We'll delete this. Delete. Move to trash. Alright, camera, please. How do I have 50 apps open? Let's pull the camera back out. Let's get out our pin vise. We'll get out our bits, and we're gonna pin this for stability. I need my paper clips. I need my wire cutter, and we need tweezers to get out the bit. Okay, let's do this again. We're gonna show all this to the camera. All right, pro video. We're gonna take our mini and we're gonna put it there, and we're gonna show where we want to pin it. So we'll do this, and then we'll point right here, and we'll talk about, in the video, we'll talk about pinning this kind of like at that angle. So what we want to do is we want to take and we want to file this a little bit flat, just enough that our drill bit is going to get purchase on it. Get that nice and smooth. Maybe even just give it some nice aggressive rubbing till we have a good solid little flat top there. Okay. And I think I have a tool around here somewhere to make a hole, but we can actually just take our hobby knife, and we're just gonna jam it in there and give it a little twirl, and that should start us a nice little pilot point for our drill bit. It's a nice soft material after all. Yeah, there's a Goobertown video about that featuring a model printer caster near me that does it pretty cool. Yeah, sick. So you're just basing the torso with the limbs around it, right? I'm not even basing, actually. I'm just gonna get mini glued together and ready to go on a base. We're going to use the base as a nice flat surface so it stands up. Howdy, says Iron Elemental. Welcome, Mr. Mental. Hope you're doing well.
What?
Hello, Mr. Madcat, indeed. All right.
Wolf?
So we're going to show our pin vise to the camera.
That's clan
We're going to
tag.
show
That's
our
just
twist drill
cheating.
bits.
I don't want to lose my friends, man.
We're going to point at the 1mm. And we're going to grab our 1mm bit with the tweezers. Okay. Might be a good... This video might talk more about tools and process more so than the actual painting. You guys think that would be make for an interesting video? Alright, so we're going to line up our bit into that pilot hole we made. And we're going to give it some back pressure and we're going to just spin it to win it. And honestly, this isn't biting super well. So I'm going to put a little more pressure on it and hopefully my angle is good so we can really get in there. Alright, let's break that free. And give it a second reaming and see how deep our hole is. So we'll mark it with our thumbnail and we'll pop it free, and you can see we've already gotten pretty good depth on that, which is awesome. We didn't want to go through it, but we want that pin really sunk in there. Hey, the ad killed my chat. Thank you for the ad, YouTube. Sad Arthur noises. I'm having flashbacks to drilling bolter barrels. Ah, yes. It's worth it, though. Okay, so next we're going to show standard paper clips to the camera. Get out a paper clip. And I waste a lot of these. We're going to bend this to where we can get to the bottom of it. And we're going to show the camera our heavy-duty tool. In this case, we want that tool steel wire cutter. We're going to get in here and we're going to take out, like, I don't know, that much. We are talking about the thug. And T is for terrible. And G is for jail, because a thug can't spell. Or G is for gevangenis. Actually, tell you the truth. Alright, so that's a really big pin. We made it way too long. You can see here that it's going to pierce right through that. And I don't think that's what we want. Or maybe it is. It may very well be. We could experiment with it. So what we want to do is get a good spot right in the center. Right in the middle. Right there. So I'm going to press this home and give it enough of a oomph that we'll have a little marking. And we take our hobby blade, which is back here. We're going to come in and we're going to stick that down. And we're going to create a pilot hole. Create a nice little pilot hole here that my camera won't focus on. And now we're going to screw this up and have this, I'm looking over my camera straight down at it to hopefully have this nice and level. I think it's level enough. Go for it. Can't believe you actually remember that word and get the pronunciation right too. Holy shit. You can't you can't acknowledge that that I ever get anything right, Mr. Mental. But yeah, G is for that word. You know what really surprises me is the whole it's the he and the get in the same word. Hifanganus. It has become a word we use daily, Mr. Mental. Ah, yes. Okay, so we have our pen nicely there, and it looks a little high on the other side. It does look a little high on the other side. I think what we'll probably end up doing is going back in and reaming out that hole a little bit, so that it has a little play, a little bit of wiggle in between. That way we can reposition a little bit. Okay, so next we need this nice and flat, just like the other one. So we're gonna come in with our diamond file, and we're gonna get that tip nice and flattened down. And in this case, what I'm doing is I'm rubbing the part against the tool instead of the other way around, so that it stays good and flat, and I don't bend the tool around the spherical end. And I think we're going to be a little more aggressive this time. We want this pretty solidly flat because our pen is at a weird angle. Or not at a weird angle, it's just an imperfect angle. So hold on, I think I see it. I do see it. Ooh boy, almost lost that part there. Look at Miles winning at slots. Dude, yeah, dude, the slots over the gamble. The slots or gamble better? Real good question, right? Okay, so we're gonna push our pen through, and we're gonna get this leg kind of into place where we want it, and take a peek here. And I think it's still gonna be sitting really high, and we're gonna press that home, and you'll see we have a nice little mark here, and we're once again gonna use that as a point for our pilot hole. And the thing is that this nice big flat area here, which I want to show to the camera, provides so much working room for our pen, and that way we can put the pen kind of off center, and we maybe won't have to ream this thing out. Now laugh at Miles losing at slots. Well, that's the nature of the gamble, right? Is that you win some, you lose some, but the wins feel like something real, so you end up coming back. But you know, if you win at enough of the slots and gamble, you can come in here and you can toss a one of these in chat. That is not what I clicked on. A reminder. Oh, I guess it says right there in the chat. The Filthy Rich cost 10 million biscuit coins to redeem. And if you too would like 10 million biscuit coins, all you gotta do is spam !gamble followed by a number into chat enough. And eventually, you too will be filthy rich. Ah, check it out. Cool. The pen worked. The pen worked. The pen worked. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That's going to be a real stable model now. I am pleased. I am actually quite chuffed, I think is the term I would use here. I am chuffed. I have More emails. All right, so we're gonna get back out the camera. We're gonna pretend that we're drilling here, so that we like end the clip here with this, and we show that we demonstrate that our hole is a little off axis. We'll take our part. I'm gonna push it home on camera, get it nice and lined up, and we have these beautiful running legs. There we go, lovely. All right, we're gonna pull it apart and set our parts down, and now we show to the camera our naughty nurse, which always slides in from the bottom. You started with a mini and now are building an action figure. Ah, yes. My tip is clogged again. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our little brass wire and we're gonna sound this tip. There we go. And we're gonna put some juice all over our get pellet. Nope, no we are not. This tip is ruined even. I'm burning footage trying to get this thing to work. I gotta admit, I am not liking this extra thin super glue here. Yeah, it's just there's material in the fucking lid. I think this brand new BSI super glue that's like a $10 bottle is immediately ruined after one use. So instead what we'll do is we'll pull out the extra thick and fail to get any to come out of it. There we go. Nice double dribble. Excellent. Extra thick for the win. Fuck a super thin. I don't understand it. Okay. So now we get out our toothpick. We're actually going to make sure autofocus is autofocusing. Get out our extra thick and we'll scoop some up. And we're going to get it all over that ball joint. And we're also going to cram it in here. No. No, we're not. We're going to pull this pin free first. And we're going to jam that pin through the glue into the hole. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh, there it is. All right. And we can slather up the shaft here. And we're going to push it through. Push it through. Which is the front here? That's the front. Push it through. So now we have a bunch of glue in the hole and in the socket as well. We're going to lube this up with some sticky fluid. I want to press that other side home as well. Lovely. Come on. There we go. And we have some nice running legs now. Let's lock it in place with a little bit of BSI Instaset. Set that home. locked in place. Excellent. Beautiful work. Alright. Lovely. Stop the filming. So, weird question because of biscuit points. Do you like biscuits and gravy? Also, who makes the best biscuits and gravy? Alright. So, I'm a vegan now, so I can't really have proper biscuits and gravy. But honestly, best biscuits and gravy out there, Hardee's. I used to work at Hardee's for years. Those sausage patties are cooked from fresh every morning, and though the gravy mix is in like a pre-mixed fast whip up package, the industrial process that produces the powdered fats in it mixes up really quickly and into perfect consistency. The salt level is just right, and those patties are chopped fresh. I have some extra thin super glue. It's just hard to use. Dries in seconds, which is great in theory, but makes it too hard when you just need to be precise. Yeah. I see uses where I'll need it. I think I need the toppers. I may need to replace this lid or get in there and really clean it out. Now, my actual answer beyond that, like for me now, is my mom. My mom has figured out how to make like a really good white gravy that tastes as good as sausage gravy for me. So anytime I come into town and am visiting with my folks and having breakfast, she has figured it out, and I love it. So good. She's also figured out lasagna for me as well. A nice, proper vegan lasagna. I think her secret is tofu. Tofu to replace the cheese. And I'm pretty sure that's all there is to it. No meat, of course. Use the fake crumbles. There might be some other fat in there somewhere, but yeah, tofu for the cheese. Okay, so let's look at these arms and how they're gonna end up going on. He's got like oh, this gun tip is also oval. Okay, so this thing is kind of sticking out, which means it needs to go in with a pin at like this angle right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to hold this in the position where it's gonna be mounted. And we're gonna get that nice flat surface again, as best we can. And we're gonna run this part up and down along the length of our tool until it has a nice flat area. We're going to get out our X-Acto once again, set it right in the center, press it home, and spin it to win it until we have a nice usable hole to jam our next tool into. And that should get in there and bite into the plastic. I'm not a vegan, but had a partner who once. Tofu is awesome. Yeah, I have really grown to love tofu. I use it in my nachos, actually. I'll do these nachos with tofu and a soy riso mix, just some kind of textured vegetable protein with lots of spices in it. I think it's made of seitan, like seitan crumbles, and then put like 2 kinds of beans, and then a bunch of rotel tomatoes, just convenient stuff in the can, of course. Yeah, I'm pretty spoiled living where I do, to be honest. San Francisco is not lacking for vegan options. I think we maybe screwed that up a little bit. Yeah, we did screw that up some, so we're going to reposition our hole. I'm going to file this flat. I should have checked that before drilling it. Get a new flat area. This wants to sit right there. So our angle is right here. I got that very, very wrong. Very wrong. I didn't consider the scarring on the back from where we removed that extra sphere. So this should actually sit right. That's the wrong part. Should actually sit right here. I wish I would have filmed that screw up. Honestly. That's a lot better. Okay. So our pin hole is actually going to be right here. There's a cavity in this model. There's a pretty substantial cavity actually in there. Alright, let's double check before we pin this in. This needs to be like so. So that's coming out like this. Let's see. So we put our parts together here. We get it in a position how it's going to be aimed. We need to hold it firmly. This is such an awkward part. It's kind of shittily posed, honestly. Alright, so the arm's going to stick out across like so, which means our part's coming out like this. And we're going to get in there. I think it's more like this. I'm going to rotate a little bit and have to drill deeper. There we go. I'm not a big fan of too many parts on minis, but wish they had done the premium Black Knight with multi-part arms for greater posability, or at least get some more. Oh, I just drilled through the part. Fuck. A little better on the options. I think we're gonna have to fill that hole. Fuck! I drilled right through it. Stick a little milliput in there. I created a lot of damage just now. I'm gonna have to abandon y'all's view for a second while I use my close-up vision. Alright. As long as they stay upright, the vapors trapped under the cap do a better job protecting the tip than the cap itself does. Yeah, and if it has like the slightest nucleation site, right, to grab onto, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, exactly. We'll have to jam a little milliput in there. All right. So while we have our thing here, let's see if we can't get some more pins out of this. So let's bend this free. Let's get us a new pin. I think that should be more than sufficient. I could be wrong. I often am. Jam that pin home. That is not enough. I am wrong. Alright, so we want maybe like double that. That's probably way too much, but we can cut down the kind of funky end. Basically, I want to push this all the way down till it's sticking out where our hole is, and then we'll pull it back some. Yeah. And let's cut off about yay much. Alright, so I think what we're going to do here, since this has got a hole that it'll go through, is we're going to swirl this pin in the goop, and we're going to push it into that hole in and out a few times, and just like nicely coat that interior with super glue. Okay, and I want to get it off the exterior, and then we're gonna put a little BSI in the back end. A little insta set back there. Back here. Bobcat. I like when the bots are talking to each other. That's kind of fun. Can you believe this phone still has not memorized Bobcat as a autofill suggestion? Okay, so it's sticking in here like so. And I want to mark that point, so I want enough of a scratch that I can see where I'm working. I can kind of see it. So we're going to come in here with our hobby knife again, jam it in there, get us a nice little pilot hole. There we go. We're going to come in with our really, really aggressive pen entrenching tool. Impingement tool. Impingement? Thought there was some fun wordplay in there. I'm just wrong. This is a great song too. Who the fuck is this? I've heard this a million times. You'd think I'd know by now. Oh, of course. Lupus Knocked. Welcome, Comstock. Thank you for the top. Everybody, make sure to stay up to date with your HPG bills. Also, maybe consider painting a Comstar mech and posting it in the Country Fried Minis Discord as tribute. Yay, work over mostly. Well, I wish I could say the same, but we're actually kind of not even started with this project. This is due, I think I have till the 30th on this set. Alright, so our arm is a little, just a tiny bit misaligned. And that's fine. What we'll do is we'll bend our pen just a bit. Let's put it on that arm and see. Yeah, let's bend that pen up. Let's get that arm more raised. This is such a silly sculpt. Okay, there we go. Now, where is our toothpick? It is glued to the table. Let's get a big old dollop of extra thick goop. And we're gonna rub it all in that crevice there. We're also gonna put it on the end of this shaft and the balls. Oh wait, there's only one ball now because I removed the other one. And we're going to jam that home. I'm going to tilt it a little bit. I think we can maybe rotate a little bit and then it'll raise the gun a little. Yeah, that looks good. come back in with our our BSI Insta set and run that over. I will accept Comstar painted Mechs' tribute. I ought to do another Comstar mech. I do have an instructional, by the way, if y'all haven't seen it. The Tuki a Day collaboration, which I did with Battlebound. Check it out. It's really comprehensive, and it shows my technique, which is the same technique I use for commercially painted minis. Well, mostly. I don't do any lens jeweling in that video, but if you want to check it out, it's very simple to follow and only requires a few ingredients to get fabulous results. I think we're going to continue with this pinning. So let's get the top of this thingamabob sanded nice and flat. We're going to just go ham with our Army Painter file. It's actually been a great little file set. A little more expensive than a hardware store file set, but I can't say I'm disappointed with it. And if you want to support a local game store, it might be a good product to add to your set. Once again, nice little pilot hole. We're going to take our drilling bit and we're going to set this decently deep. Let's take a peek. That is probably not quite deep enough. We want that a little bit deeper. Just that extra little push to get it seated satisfactorily deep. And in doing so, we'll have a really firm connection between the two parts. Let's see how far this is going to stick up and out now. We push that in. See, like, if you have a pin that's running that deep into two pieces, they should never break. It'll serve to spread the shearing tension way up in the body. It just hit me. I maybe need to do the other pin first. Okay, so I think what we're going to do here is we're actually going to put a little dot of paint. What is the most staining paint I have? We could just use some black paint, I think. Let's come in with a tiny paintbrush. We're just going to dig a little dollop of black paint out and stick it right in kind of the middle. And we're going to put this part together as we would for painting and see if that leaves a mark. It did not. Unfortunately, our black paint dried out too quick. Let's just put some right there. I need a whole bunch out, unfortunately. Let's get a big dollop this time. Get a big blotch of it right there. I need enough that our little bead is going to stay wet long enough to get our part in position. Boom. Straight in. I don't want to rotate it. And pull out. Oh man, it don't reach it. It don't reach the back. Where was that pin that was too short? Where did it go? There it is. You know what? I have an idea. And let's try putting a short pin in there first. I'm gonna press. Let's start a little pilot hole. Start a little pilot hole. We're going to set a short pin. We can always go back in and deepen it if we need. Most stainful middle stone? I don't know if that's true. The issue with the middle stone is just that it broke down too quickly. Like the water caused the emulsion to break down. I think I just hit a cavity. I just hit a cavity in there. This part is hollow. Does that mean... Oh god. That's awful. That's awful. That means that this producer used pressure instead of vacuum when casting their parts. So I gotta cut a new pin that's longer so that maybe it'll reach the back of that cavity. Let's see, will this one go too far in? Holy shit, that is such a deep hole. If I hit the back, Jesus. I need an even longer pin. I need an even longer pin to serve as the short pin. That's insane. The center of this model is not a gooey cream-filled center. It is in fact a cavernous area. I'm gonna mark our pin for cutting. We're gonna put this in there now. All of this was just to get a nice, like,
We're talking about the
marking.
thugs. T is for terrible, H is for hell, U is for ugly, and G is for jail. Cause the thugs can't spell.
Because the thug can spell and it starts with a H. Alright, now we got a nice little pinhole. And you know, because this material is so soft and that pin bit dug so deeply, I think we can even just put the pin on our part without needing to file it flat. Let's push this thing home again and ensure that our pin is going in the right direction. I'm gonna make sure we've got the right angle, so it's kind of coming across like this. We want to aim towards the front of this, so we want to kind of get the angle about right, like that. And we're gonna start drilling. And we have seen before that this material is really soft, and our bit digs in really fast. No, but Smothers knew how to put on
And
show.
a double helping
Yes.
of gravy.
Yeah, Tracy Smothers is a good character to hate. He universally would appeal to folks with his Southern Rebel idea. He was a really likable heel, and he played up the rebel flag identity well enough to appeal to folks who were about it and to be hated by people who were against it as well. A true I started to say class act, but I don't think that's accurate. Of course, it does come from a time before the hard cultural shift of that symbology to the hatred that it is today. Fun character though. Very fun character, Mr. Tracy Smothers. R.I.P. Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I love a good heel. And no, that's not a foot fetish thing. You gotta have a good character to hate. Just as much as you need a good, like, baby face to get like the youth engaged and like enjoying their hero and getting into the little bit of that hero worship, you need a good heel, a good villain. Novacat torso finally arrived, so I could build the Novacat B finally. Wait, is Catalyst actually pretty good about replacing parts? I've never really dealt with them, honestly. I generally order through Ares if I'm buying official models. Alright, so we have lengthened our pin a little bit. Who? This might be important. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna mute out for a moment and put you on the BRB screen. This could be my management calling me. unmute my mic and rejoin. That was the city finally getting back to me about my noise complaints. Regarding the business that plays loud music until 4 in the morning. It honestly sounds like they're not going to do anything about it. He did say that the noise ordinance does apply. When I said it seems like the noise ordinance doesn't apply to them, he said it most certainly does. But he also said that me investigating it probably won't do much, but I'll get down there. Those of y'all who have hung out with me in voice chats know all about it. Okay, reset chat. Where the heck were we? We were drilling a hole. Ooh, that looks pretty good. We got the angle right. We should maybe double check our depth here and see how much more room we have to work with. We have just a little bit more. Maybe like 6 more turns. That's so much material so quick. Ooh, that's almost enough to press it home. Almost enough. Okay, I think what we have to do here is we actually need to shave like a millimeter off this pin. So we're gonna feed it up into our wire snips and we're gonna cut that free. And we're gonna put it back once more. Press it home. And we're gonna get our other part and we're gonna jam it in there as well. Yeah, looky there, looky loo, look at you. I almost feel like, yeah, we should put the pin. Ow! Fuck. All knives are sharp when they fall. Welcome back to NovaCat versus NovaCat B from Ironwind Metals. I picked one up at the Ironwind Metals booth at the Richmond Open and it was missing. Oh, Ironwind Metals. I missed that. Yeah, sick. Ironwind Metals, you know, honestly, they strike me as a really, really awesome company. I love everything they've done for the most part. That's not true. Their cataphract sculpt is just a little wonky. I wish it was more, had a little more roundness in his torso. But I don't think that's necessarily on IWM as much as it is the sculptor. Yes. I had a feeling that phone call was important based on the number. So my apologies. I don't really have a good way to put a "I am busy" notice on the phone. But I can put one on the door. All right, so we're gonna take some super glue. We're gonna dip the tip of our pen in it. And we're gonna jam this thing into the arm, get it really firmly planted, and we're gonna goop up the ball joint and the pin, and then we're going to goop up the inside of this. So I want a big glob, and I need a glob so it'll stick off the tip of our toothpick, and then we'll pick up the excess. And so we have that cup is nicely coated without just being too filled. And in fact, there's a little bit extra. I want to scoop that out. Shit, I need a place to set this. We can set it right here. All right, and we're gonna take our sticky thing. A little too much glue there. So we'll remove a little bit of that excess with this paper towel. And we'll press this part nice and flush. I think it actually isn't seating all the way, but it's close enough that the gap filling properties of the extra thick will take over. We'll take our accelerant, put it on there. Process for getting sculpts approved for the new minis was needlessly ridiculous. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. So, I think we need to, once more, try to get this nice and lined up. Let's figure out how he's going to be posed. So we'll remove our pin. And we know it's going to be kind of like that. This actually is horrible. The amount of play for this ball joint. If I tried to put this together without a pin, it's just going to be like a mess of glue. And I actually want, honestly, to tell you all the truth, I wish this set more forward. So we're going to take and figure out where we want to push this. He needs to be scooted back a little bit like that. Just a little bit. So we're going to come in here and we're going to remount this hole with a power tool. And now we've made this hole a little more ovoid, and he'll be able to sit more bettering. I need a short pin again. Let's try the short pin from earlier. Try our short pin from earlier, and we're going to push that into the hole and use that sharp tip sticking out to try and line it up. And in fact, we're going to shorten that even more. I just want a little nice little sharp tip sticking up out of that. I don't know if you can see. We're going to use it to kind of line things up. And really mash that together. And what that should do is leave us a nice scar that I can just about see, on which we will drill our hole. And I think our pin, he's kind of tilted just a little bit forward. So we want like a tiny bit of an angle. We'll start a pilot hole. Careful you don't find more hollowness. Oh, you're right. It's probably going to drill right back into the same area. It's power tool time. I should have filmed that. We could have done a power tool time segment. Though, you know, this might turn into a more wholesome, classic CFM content. I don't know. I think as much as I love the wacky, there's a certain amount of that needs to be re-embraced. I think my angle is a little too off. We may put this in there and then shift the pin direction. All right, we're about that deep into it, so that should work. Let's pull out our temporary pin, Come on. There we go. I bet you this pin is not quite long enough now. Well, I think it'll be fine if we seat it on this end first. Get it in position and seat it. And we'll make a nice long pin up in the body. Oh, it's actually not long enough. Cool. I'm okay with this. Alright. I'm going to do another 8 turns maybe? Oh, I did hit hollow. I hit that same bubble. That's good for us though. That just means it's not going to touch the back. Plenty of room to push this all the way in. Or maybe not. You know what? Maybe that wasn't a hollow space. Maybe that was just like poorly mixed resin in there. It's hitting something. It's getting like bound up in that and breaking through. If it don't work, what we can do is we can shorten this pin a little bit. Nope, there it goes. Pressed right in. We'll give it a little tilt. There we go. All right, so what's the process here? I think we'll pull our pin here. We'll pull this pin, which now has a little bit of a tilt to it. And we'll get firm seating with glue in the bottom. And we'll get some fresh glue. Super glue still wet from the arm, probably, if you hit the same hole. That explains it. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Mental. How dare you have sciencey facts for us. Previous pen? It could have been the pen and deflected. Could have been the pen and deflected. That is accurate. Alright, so let's get a good globule. Let's smear the shaft. And I think we really want to fill this cavity here. I don't want it flowing out the sides, but I do want enough inside there that it creates an extremely firm connection with gap filling in mind. Yeah, this right here, we're gonna have to do a little sculpting back there. That's fine. I'm okay with it. Alright. I should have filmed this whole process, but it's fine. We have enough footage of the pins to sell the idea. But there we go. We got a good pose, I think. He's going to sit nice on the base. We can put him kind of towards the back. It is pointing down, but that's fine. This foot, however, is going to be a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in and really aggressively file that flat until we can see that the toes are touching down. Very aggressive sanding. If it cuts details, I really don't care at this point. I need it flush. This model only has the one connection point, so we're going to run a pin. It'll be pinned to the base, but it needs to be as much surface touching down as possible. Let's see here. Yeah, much better. Still a little wobble, but not too bad. I think that is solid. Okay, who's next on the agenda? That was only 2 hours of hobby work, minus 4 minutes on the phone. Who's next? I think we're gonna do some gentle cleanup of our bull shark here. Let's get in there and search for scars that need to be removed. I could maybe bring the camera in. No, he's big enough. You can see what's going on. We're just looking for any areas that have like pretty heavy scarring from the supports. And we're going to give them the same treatment we would for mold lines. Just remove as much of that as possible. This is something that is really easy to neglect in your 3D prints, and something I admittedly do not take enough time to do usually. Like right here, this whole area is going to be really visible. So I want to come in, where's my other file? I can use this one, that's fine. I'm going to come in and just get these nice and smooth where we can. I don't think we can get to that with the file. In fact, how do we deal with that right there? Maybe across like that? I don't know. I think we could maybe do a little square of sandpaper. Like this. And put it on the end of a tool. And come in. It needs a little more off the side. Bring that further down. So we got our little bit of sandpaper. Should I get a longer strip so I could actually hold it well? And we're just gonna come in and sand it smooth. There we go. Turn the corner of our file into a sanding surface. There we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. Thank you, sandpaper. You don't have any sandpaper in your Hobby Preps collection? Make sure to pick you some up next time you're at a hardware store or shopping on Amazon. Wherever you get your stuff, get you some sandpaper in your collection. Texture paste. Just scoop up them peds. I think we're going with rocky terrain. Unfortunately, Mr. Nate. I'm pretty sure the client has requested rocky. So it's going to be more dusty than goopy. I will doubly confirm though. Now I think this guy's going to be a bit of a problem actually. Him's feet is real big. But it does look like we have a connection point here. That'll work. Alright, so we did have a problem here with this bit. Now, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of tempted to just snip that off and do a little scratch work on it. We may turn it into a little bit of battle damage. I think that might be the way to do it. We'll put some damage coming up across here and then across there. Up both ends. We have another little bit of marring right here from the supports. So we'll maybe do some like shell impacts. And then like we lost this whole bit right here. So we either got to do damage or to like cut this bit off, and I think that's what we'll do. We'll cut this off and just do a little bit of customization to make it look okay. And we want to sand that down. Do that. There we go. Looking decent. Do I see any more really egregious support scars? I'm sure I'll see a whole bunch of them once I prime it. Nothing inside the barrels. We clean that one out. Let's cut these scars off right there. We have a little bit of a problem right there. I think maybe there was a mild layer shift or something. Let's get in with our soft toothbrush and just remove any stuff on the surface real quick. All right. This needs a little sanding. I think this needs a little sanding too. I'll try to do it without eating into the detail too much. Because there are like little raised panels there. We got a bad scar right here. Dig that out. Let's dig that out. What's going on here? We have some like residue inside there. Residue from what? I'm not sure. Some other resin project? Oh, look, we have another little problem here. Honestly, I think all White Rook Studios should probably break their models apart into pieces. And I think I see why it's not. This part is clipping inside the other part. So I think White Rook Studios models probably do not work in the intended poses when broken into different parts. But this is the second time I have worked with White Rook here on the channel, and I am disparaging them once again. Not a bad sculptor, just there's a few things they should maybe work with. I think separating models into various parts is probably going to be the way to address these issues. I have tried 3 different orientations on this model and I have not been able to get a clean print. There's always been some kind of issue somewhere. But we can work with it. I think what we'll do, we're going to get back out the power tool time. And maybe we film this part. No. I gotta film it. I gotta film part of the process. I just feel like if we embrace too hard the power tool time, it might lead to an attitude of silliness in the project that I really don't want to dive into as hard on this one, but that's fine. So we're gonna show the model. I should have filmed cutting off the little broken area, but what we want to do is point out this right here and show what it looks like, and then flip it around and show how this is like damaged right up through there. So we're gonna do some little shell impact hits, and we will autofocus and we'll show the camera our Dremel, and we're gonna start attacking it with our little ball burr. And we're gonna hit it here too. I'm gonna do one right there. And we're gonna try to turn this into like a shell impact. Like that. We'll do the same right here. We'll switch bits to a nice pointy one. You don't have to do the thing every time. You know that's not true, Mr. Nate. You know that's not true as well as I. We could do it like really quiet. So we're gonna switch bits to this nice little, this little one. Come on, Chuck, engage. I'm gonna switch to our little pointy tip, and we're gonna try to create some nice little spalling patterns here. Same here. All right, so we also want to think about something to make the shell impacts look a little more natural, like it ate a little bit more somewhere. And I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna go for a really bold design here. I'm off to bed again. See y'all later. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Mental. I hope you have pleasant sleeping. Have many dreams, and in those dreams everyone's speaking perfect Dutch. All right, so I think our next, I want to hit right there. I want a really intense shell impact right there on the front. And this guy's gonna have like a shark mouth on the front with a nice hard impact on it. So we'll switch back down to our little bit again. And we're gonna just intensify our little spalling pattern, our shell impact. I don't know if that's what that's called, actually. All right. And I want something else.
Iron Elemental donated a $11.38 super chat. Slaap kindje slaap, daar buiten loopt en schaap.
Sleep kan je sleep. Daar buiten loopt in slaap. Slaap? No T. Slap. Sleep. Right? The double A is an A. Sleep kan je sleep. Dear Buiten Loopt in shape shop. The doubles get me, man. Slape, kind you sleep. Slape. S-L-A-A. Slape. Slape, keen you sleep. Dare, bootin, loped, in, sheep. Shape. Holy moly! That I mean, it's not real, right? You guys don't actually speak like this. Sleep, child, sheep. Outside there walks a sheep. So dare, like dare, there. Bootin. There outside lopes a sheep. Walks a sheep. Yeah, okay. And kinja, like a kinder, like the same kind of yeah, I mean that's just English right there. It's just spelled weird. Bootin? Holy moly. You know, just when I'm feeling I got a little bit of handle on the Dutch, holy shit, dude. You come in with that. Slape, can you slape? Dare, booten, looped, in, shape. Like S-H-A-P-E, shape. But it's not. It's like the CH is a little different. Holy moly. Thank you for the generous dono, Mr. Mental. That will directly go into making things continue to function here on the channel. Every dollar given goes into a fund to ensure that YouTube gives me a payout. And every ad played does the same. Thank you for the ad, YouTube. Okay. Now, I want to kind of balance this out. And I want like, I want another small bit of damage somewhere. I just don't know where yet. Maybe across this. Maybe we'll go with an asymmetric thing. And we can carve a gouge right here. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Okay. One more gouge on this. Ah doesn't sound. No fucking way. Double A says ah. What sound does an A make? So slop is sleep. Flop. And shop is sheep. I thought A's just made it sound anyways and not English. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, Mr. Mental. You've broken my brain here with your silly language. It's fun though. I'm gonna do some more butchered Dutch at some point. Sloppy shoppy. Could always roll for hot location. I'll roll for hot location. Actually, do I have dice handy? I don't have dice handy. Mr. Nate, roll for hot location. Please, if and you don't mind. don't really want to overdo this, but this also means that someone else in the regiment should probably get some battle damage. I may put some battle damage on one of the catalyst models. We'll get some more power tool time into it. Dice 6, you need to do 2. Okay, so 1 plus. Once more, Mr. Nate. You'll have to re-roll if it's a 0 too, don't forget. Where is our hot location today? Oh yeah, it is dice, isn't it? It is weird that it's not roll. I should have done that. 1 and 2, that's a 3. That's going to be an arm. And I think low is low left. Three is definitely an arm. I just can't remember if low numbers are left or right. It might be right. I think it's right arm. Chat, your right arm is awful hot today. That's probably because your stream hand has been allowed to be under the table today. And it's been working real hard. Okay. I think our bull shark is ready for action. Let's actually, let's clean it with a little alcohol. So whenever I clean up my prints, I just use some of my ISO. We'll dip the brush, and that'll be plenty enough to get in here and clean up all that resin dust on the surfaces. Who's popping? Nightbot, you can't be allowed to do that alone. More cats. Yeah, those look great now. Well, this one's a little too shallow, I think. I'm gonna dig into it a little more. Yeah, there we go. Looks like nice bent metal. Good impact there, good impact. This is nice and solid. So is that. Excellent. Who's next? What is next today on our workflow agenda? I'm thinking this war dog. More of the same, unfortunately. So I hate to tease y'all with prep, but I think showcasing what goes into it is also valuable. And shall lead to a good paint stream next time. I will have these guys done prep, and we'll finish prep, and then we'll dig in with priming and have that done beforehand. And we'll have these ready for next week, probably. Might do some Monday, but next time we dive in, it's gonna be Northwind Highlanders. Painting them up, hitting some base coats, hopefully getting to painting some tartans. And I think what we'll do is we'll kind of talk about the commercial painting process. So I think the live streams may be a teaser of a future. You should paint an up dog. Yeah. I know this joke, Mr. Miles. Yeah, I'm too smart to be gaslit. Nuh-uh. You can't just, you know, get me to say what's up, dog. No, not at all. Alright, we get some pretty deep scars on this boy on the back. I'm wondering if this guy needs a little bit of damage to make him a little more interesting. I'm kind of leaning towards yes. Damn, War Dog's so fucking cool though. Such a fucking awesome model. I actually have the official one here, which I will do eventually. Should definitely consider adding one to your collection. They are funky. Okay, so it's like largely it's just a bunch of little scars. I think though we do need some scarring somewhere. I'm thinking right here on the knee. Basically, we're gonna push the ball in until it really bites in. Get a nice deep hit, and then we'll stroke it back. Alright, we also need to remount these arms because they don't really go on deep enough. This other side as well. Now, I think this is a problem with my printer's dimensional accuracy. It's a pretty gnarly scar I just made. I slipped. What's that?
Iron Elemental donated $11.38 super chat. NNYHH, what's up, dog? I'm a bunny wabbit.
She did say wabbit, but she did not say yeah. I think we're going for a more direct shell impact here. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Can't really do a good Bugs Bunny. Also, thank you for the super generous dono, Mr. Mental. We may have to work on some models for you as a little thanks here after I get clear on these damn mortars. Dude, there's no way this is ever gonna fit. I think we're gonna just have to pin these. I wonder if I have a bigger ball that I could jam in there. I do have a bigger ball, I just don't think it's big enough. You think this... I don't think this polishing stone has enough grippiness. We could try the bigger ball. We'll try the bigger ball, and then I also have these routing bits that could potentially work. the routing bit may be the solution here. All right, so we're gonna swap off to it's basically the same bit we were just using, just bigger. Big ball. Yeah, there we go. Remount that hole. This one too. Give it a little rub. That's a lot of resin dust. I should have put PPE on for this. That fits a little better. But I think the problem is our peg and joint are just not the right size. I don't know, that's creating a nice amount of surface. It's not digging into the hole, but the edge is like there's enough surface now with the greater opening size. Yeah. I think that'll work. It wants to slide pretty well. I think we could maybe stuff a little milliput in there. Nah, no worries. Thank me by taking care of yourself first. Get sweet dollars for your work on the eBays. Oh, I mean, it's coming anyways. Regardless, mister. I just like having a good excuse. We will be doing those Jurassic Park mechs at some point. I'll probably paint up a set of 8 of them so I can sell some of them on the eBays. Speaking of. But yes, I do indeed take care of myself first. Ouch. Oh my god.
Iron Elemental donated a $11.38 super chat. Thing says this makes me number 1 for now. Let's see.
Does it make you number 1? Holy shit. You could spam exclamation point gamble 1000 like 30 times. It tricked you? I think you are... It... Huh. I think what that is saying, Mr. Mental, is that makes you number 1 dono. Overall, which I believe it. I believe it. I fully believe that you would definitely be number 1 tipper on the entirety of the channel. All right, we have some pretty gnarly scars here, so let's try to clean those up. It did trick you. It did indeed trick you. Also, number 2 is a poop joke. Just saying. I think I want another shell impact on that same side. So let's actually come in. So what I'm going to try to do here is, I'm going to try to hit this straight on, but bite into the outside. Like this. So push in and then have it run off the side. There we go. Like you got hit with like an Ultra AC5 or something. I don't want to overdo this. Less is more after all. The crown thingy, I should get pointies, but I'm stuck on 150. I'm 100 kilograms of number 2. Imagine dropping that. What was the measurement that they used in that South Park episode? Keurigs? I wonder how many Keurigs that would be. Alright. We're going to roughen up this edge a little bit too. Right here. Let's create a little bit more unevenness. I was thinking we might use Night Shift's technique there, where you put the paintbrush in and make it into a nice crater. We may yet do that. Exactly one Bono. Ah, yes, you know the reference I'm talking about. These gouges need to be a little cleaner, ironically. All right, so a double hit there, and then he took one to the knee. And that's just because I wanted that reference. So I think we need to put some little divots in it. Okay, so War Dog, I think, is ready to get cleaned up. And then we'll assemble that. I just don't know. I really want to battle damage one of these catalyst models. I just don't know which one yet. Only South Park measurement I remember was the Streisand. Did they use that for a measurement? I don't recall that. That's old South Park, right? It's funny, so when I was younger, South Park wasn't banned in, like, we kids weren't, like, denied watching South Park, but we did, it did tend to come on at a time when my folks would be watching something else, on the main TV, so we didn't really get to watch it too much. Every now and then. Alright, so next step, we're gonna clean this boy. Clean this boy up. Get all these little spots cleaned up of their resin dust. I think that is plenty enough Dremel work on this one. This is another less is more moment. And let's assemble this, and then maybe we'll clean up a catalyst model before we call it. I think I'll work on all these on my own time, and we can wrap this up as like a 3-hour stream. I'll take a break and then continue working, and if any of y'all want to hang out in Discord, I'll probably kill some time, play some games, chat, take a break. So if you're not already a member of the Discord, consider joining. There's pretty much some kind of socializing going on there on a daily basis. If you want to come through, talk hobby, talk Battletech, play video games, just have someone to chat to, there is usually someone there. So check the link in the description down below if you're not already a member. Join up on the Discord. We do fun stuff like movie nights and painting challenges. Anyhow, let's dig in with some glue. And I want a nice big bubble there. And this one's going to kind of sit back and low like that, I think. And we're going to hold it till it tacks itself in place enough to hit it with the accelerator. And my hope is that the deep reaming we did of that connection point means that there's a nice sharp edge that's going to interface well on the surface of that ball. It definitely feels a lot firmer than it did before. So we'll do the same thing over here. Grab some sticky off of Helper Nurse's chest. And get it all over that ball. There's almost enough here. I think I can pull up some of that old, like half-cured glue there. That should do. And now we want this Gauss rifle actually aiming. There we go. And we're gonna hold this till it's tacky enough to sit. And I'm gonna come in and tap that down. All right, so let's film this next little part. And what I want to do here is I want to remove this from its base. Whatever we're doing, we're going to do all the bases the same, whether we're using pre-textured or my version of the catalyst base, but we're going to remove this from the base, and I want to film that. Thank you for the ad, YouTube. Excellent. What did I just hit? It was Dremel bits. All right, and I think we'll do this bit and then call the stream, because I'm starting to hit the, like, my own brand of attention deficit is, like, really screaming to wander. So, we're gonna pop this boy off his base. And in doing so, we're gonna just take our knife and we're gonna run it underneath. And we're gonna maybe even give it a nice sawing motion here. It's actually one of those cases where the I think the saw bladed X-Acto blade, sawtooth X-Acto blade is gonna be ideal here. But we're just gonna push it till it gives. And a nice sharp blade is doing the trick here. I just don't want to cut myself while putting a ton of pressure on an X-Acto blade, you know? A little pressure and slide. Give it a little pressure and slide. There we go. It's free. I did scar that base a little bit, but and I will talk to the client about what they want with these bases. But now we have this guy free, and he will be fine. So what we're going to do now is we're going to just look for mold lines, just like before. And with our very sharp X-Acto, we're going to give them a little scrape here and there. This one's actually pretty good as far as mold lines go. Though, as always, the problem with the Catalyst minis is the tenacity of the material. You scrape it and the little fuzzies stay on it. I've been told a brass wire brush is the solution. I just don't think there's enough on here to warrant that right away. Anyhow, I never bother with debasing my Catalyst minis. I'm far too lazy. So I don't think it's usually necessary. This is actually a the only reason I'm doing it here is because we have these 3D prints going in the set, and we also have this guy, and the premium model base is just fucking atrocious. This is a warped, mold line to hell piece of garbage. They should have just included an injection molded piece instead of a resin cast base. This is god awful. And I want the bases to match in this set. I don't know how much the client actually cares about that, but while I'm working on a project, I want all the basing to match. And in fact, I've done it the other way around. I actually sacrificed one of my catalyst bases on a project for a client once, so that all three of the models could be on matching bases. But here we go. I wonder if that's coming through for y'all. So pressed end to end, these bases are not the same size. This is like maybe 5% smaller. Who the One second, let me deal with this. Outrageous. 2 calls in one stream. Well, that looked official, but was in fact a scammer. And I think it's, or at least spam. I don't know if it was actually a scam. I think it's funny. I put my name on the National Do Not Call registry thing that's put out by the government. And it has actually increased the amount of spam and harassment I get. You also put my Mad Cat on a catalyst base, I think. Ooh, that's interesting. I may have. Brass wire brush is magic on those minis. I will try it out. I will have to try it out. I don't want to risk trying it out on this. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it right now. Brass wire brush, you say? Brass wire brush is magic on those minis. Okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it actually is. It actually fucking is. Yep. I doubted it. I doubted it. That made me a doubter. So you come in and you shave the bit and you scrape the line and you hit it with a brass wire brush. And it should pull the little fuzzies away, is what you're saying. So scrape the line, brass wire brush, you say? Yeah, mostly. It's not perfect, but there we go. That's 2 of y'all in the community who have insisted on my doing such thing. I will put out a piece of content talking about this. Yeah, I can see where it might mar the surface just a little bit, but it's not enough to really bite into it. I see where it does it softens the edges a little bit, so you probably want to be careful with it. But I will film this up with the next section. Can't really get in there. Okay. Well, with that, I'm going to take a break and chill. And then the Dicks in the Dark stream starts in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So if you want to check them out over there and hang out in YouTube chat, that'll be coming through. If you like D&D, they play in space. We would never gaslight you. That's not true. In fact, I think that statement itself is gaslighting. I think we made decent progress today. It is not enough progress, but we did prepare 3 models here. So these guys are ready for basing. This guy's almost ready for basing. I have a whole bunch of monotonous mold line removal to do, so I'll do that in my own time. And then next week, this time, same place, we'll dig in and we'll probably do a nice hard 5-hour session of painting. And we'll talk painting tartans probably. That's what I was waiting on.
Workout?
I do.
Give me 2.
Okay, Mr. Nate, I'm going to give that to you right as I end it. I want to thank you all so much for coming through and choosing to spend your time hanging out with me here in chat. It really does make things work really well. And it is only with your participation that we can breathe life back into this channel. So make sure to like it if you like it. If you're catching this via the algorithm after the fact and you enjoy it, we do these pretty regularly. So keep an eye out for it. Come through and chat. But you can also toss a comment down below and interact that way. I read them all. If you want more direct interaction, more silliness, more penis jokes, join the Discord. Come hang out. We want to see what you're doing. Anyhow, I've been Cameron on behalf of Country Fried Minis. This is the Bullshit Corner 2.0, and these are some 3D printed minis. And I will show you guys some painting on these 3D printed minis next week, whether Monday or Wednesday or both. We're going to be diving into them. Check this space again Friday evening. We're going to do a editing stream, and we're going to have a video out for y'all this weekend. Let me know what you think of it when it comes out. All right, that's all I got. Y'all take it easy. Lots of love. And chat at you next time. Goodbye. This stream has been brought to you by Iron Elemental. May he continue to reign Dutch into our midst from time to time. Thank you so much, Mr. Mental. And I hope you are indeed lying down and getting some sleep. Catch y'all for the next one. Oh yeah, I am going to do those push-ups.